So I apologize if you were watching me earlier. There was some glitch. It's interesting. I was talking about synchronicities and it stopped. But so it's like I had to stop that one and begin a whole new one. So I'm gonna just wait a little bit to make sure people can find me again. So nobody's coming up.
I wonder if you could post a note or something. You know how you can do that on your YouTube?
Oh, I don't, because I'm.
Yeah, but you're on it.
I'm on it at the moment,
yes,
but.
I know.
Bum, 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 bum. There. I was able to do a post.
Yay.
Even while I was live. So. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Baby, baby, wearing that love, don't look, shoot, 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 shoot. Oh, there's a person, yay. All right, hello, Simran. I was doing my normal Monday mini medicine card reading, and something glitched and it started looping, and so I had to stop. And Simran, I actually, this is like, I'm on actually card number 4. I've already got the 5, but um, hi, Chris Thompson. That's interesting. I'm getting all kinds of different people. Like no one from who were on before are saying anything, and I'm getting all new people. So if you're just coming in, I actually had started this video earlier, and it glitched and it came off. Um, Kisher, whatever. I love Jesus. He's with me all the time. So, got 16 people. Yay. So, I've already got, if you've ever watched my Monday night mini medicine card readings, I do 5 1 card readings for people, the first 5 to say yes in the comments. I've already got the 5 because I've been actually doing this for an hour and a half already, but I had to stop the original video and restart on a different one because it glitched and it started looping. And so you're coming in on card number 4, originally for Tiffany. I don't know if you just have to kind of flow with it, right? So we're doing card 4 and 5. If you want to, Simran, if you want to choose one of those cards or both of those cards or whatever. Our current card, number 4, is Moose in reverse. And Moose is self-esteem. Moose is, as I have called it before, majestic dorkiness, right? If you've ever seen a moose in person, they are huge, right? They are powerful. And they're also one of the dorkiest looking animals on the planet. So it's like this regalness, this majestic, it's like owning everything about you. You know, like Mr. Rogers said, you are perfect just the way you are. It's not, you are perfect except for this. It's like, no, everything about you is perfect. And Moose knows he's dorky and he celebrates his uniqueness. He celebrates the things that set him apart, that make him unique, that make him different. And so it is this majestic dorkiness. It's like being the dork, letting your geek flag fly. Because if you don't fit into this world, you came here to change it. And it's by emphasizing those things that make us unique, that make us who we are rather than who we're supposed to be, that actually make a difference, right? Um, every hero of every story that has ever been told stood out from the crowd. They were different, and it was because they were different that they ended up changing the world. They ended up saving people, rescuing people, changing the way people think about things. So if you stand out from the crowd, if you are different, um, you're here to change the world, right? I back um, right after 9/11, I I was driving down the road one day and I was really sad and I'm feeling really out of place. And I'm like, because there was all this talk about vengeance and retribution and, going after the bad guys. And I'm sitting here, it's like, yes, we want justice, but um, just, starting a war that is going to kill innocent people, what does that serve, right? And it's just, I don't fit in this world. Why am I here? And then that's when I realized that is why I am here, because I don't agree with the policy. I don't fit in. I refuse to toe the line, right? And that is a strength. That is how you change the world. Um, every hero saw something more than what they were being allowed to do or being allowed to be. And they refused to look past, to bury that, right? It's like I have a vision. I can't not do this, right? I can't not be this. And so the true value in this world, like I heard someone talk about the new commodity. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but the new commodity is authenticity, right? You're more like people who are authentic, who show their vulnerabilities, right? Leadership isn't about being invulnerable and knowing all the answers and dictating. We don't need dictators, right? We need people who lead, who are able to see beyond what is visible, to know, to be vulnerable. If they don't know the answer, they ask for help. They delegate. They include other people, right? Because they recognize by accepting their own differences and their own uniqueness, they recognize the value and the diversity of the community, right? The more diverse, even in the environment, right? The more diverse an environment is, the healthier it is because you have redundancies. It's the environments that have no biodiversity that are the most vulnerable, right? Like if we discover an animal, like there's a certain fish they discovered that lives in this cave in this pool, and it's the only place on earth that they live. They've evolved and they live there. So it's like they are probably the most endangered species on the planet because anything happens to that pool, boom, there goes the whole species. There's no diversity. They're completely dependent on those specific conditions. There's no adaptability. There's no range, right? There's no spectrum. It's like, boom, this is it. If it's not this, death. So embrace your differences, embrace those uniqueness, those things that set you apart, those things that you were probably teased about as a kid. Those are the gifts you brought to the world. Don't hide from them, flaunt them. Because if you are trying to hide something about yourself, it takes so much more energy to try to hide, to try to stomp down something, to keep something a secret than it does to allow it to be expressed. And so not only are you not utilizing that unique gift, that unique energy, you're expending more energy to try to mask that. And so you're basically hobbling yourself. You're basically shooting yourself in the foot when, if you allowed yourself to be your authentic self, whatever that gift, whatever that energy, whatever that uniqueness is exactly what you need. How do I put this into words? That is the answer to the challenges that you are facing. To allow yourself to be who you're meant to be, not who you're supposed to be because of the rules or the guidelines, etc. It's you came here with purpose, you came here with uniqueness, and it's in that diversity of minds, diversity of expressions, beyond gender, beyond race, beyond species, beyond anything. We're all interdependent, and it takes differences to make that chain, that web strong. We can't, none of us can do it alone. We're all in this together. So allow yourself, wear your crown. You know, that moose has antlers, but they're not just sticky antlers like other deer and stuff. It's a radar dish on his crown, the crown chakra, right? And so, and that's where we receive the spirit. That's where we receive that light from spirit. And so not only does he have the antenna to tune into the radio station, he has the radar dish so that it is pouring in. And trying to deny that, it doesn't work. Um, and moose being the largest of the deer family, moose encompasses the entire spectrum of deerness, from the smallest deer to him who's the biggest deer. So there is still gentleness. Like deer medicine is about gentleness, about compassion, about curiosity. Um, and so that compassion and curiosity and nimbleness, right? Moose are ridiculously nimble. Um, you would think as a hunter that, oh, I'm going to go hunt moose because they're so big and clumsy and awkward that they're going to be breaking branches and trees and it'll be really easy to track them, right? They're just as invisible as any other deer in the woods. They can jump. They can jump fences. They can hide. Um, and so they have that same nimbleness, that same adaptability, that same compassion and softness. And at the same time, they can bulldoze anyone or anything that gets in their way, right? So embrace who you are, not who you're supposed to be. Allow that crown to open up and trust your uniqueness, trust your abilities. Don't try to be, don't, how does that go? Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. So we are on card number 5. And once I do the 5, once I get to the 5th card, once I do the 5, the 5th card, then I'm going to do a 5-card spread for a community reading and see how our individual medicine interweaves with what's going on with the larger community. So, card number 5. Still weird. It's like I've only got like 2 people on now,
Do you want me to see?
and no one of the original video are here. So the card number is for 5 is for Charles, but when I'm going to see, I'm not the best at tech stuff. I'm going to see if I can, when I post this to my YouTube channel, if I can kind of mesh these two together so that it's just one video. All right. Card number 5 for Charles. I was just realizing that the fact...
It
What?
says your video is unavailable.
This one?
Wait
I've
a
got
minute.
people watching it.
Okay,
That might be the original one.
okay,
Yeah. So,
okay.
the fact that Moose came up when the whole thing glitched is interesting. About embrace your majestic dorkiness. Like, I am a dork. I'm going to keep going. Even though I have no idea what I'm doing or what's happening with my video, I'm going to just keep going. Kind of like I read one time about how the Muppets, the strength of and the beauty of the Muppets is that, like, if you watch the Muppet Show, no one is good at what they do. But they do it anyway, and they do it with passion. And therefore, it's awesome, right? They do everything they do with heart. And that's what makes it beautiful. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All right, card number 5 for Charles. Okay, it's in reverse, but card number 5 for Charles is Eagle. And like I said, if a card comes up in reverse, it doesn't mean an absence of this medicine. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means that this is the North Star. This is where you're aiming. This is the destination. You're just not there yet. But this is the medicine that is in the wings. Ha ha. And it wouldn't be here if this animal wasn't helping you. If Eagle didn't care, it wouldn't show up. So Eagle's showing up because even though it's in reverse, to say, hey, I got you. We're gonna get you there. We're gonna give you some direction. And so what this is reminding you is that, Eagle is basically the embodiment of Great Spirit. Eagle flies higher than most birds. I'm not going to say all birds because the bar-headed goose has been found flying at like 20 or 30,000 feet in the air. And I think that's higher than eagles fly. But that said, Eagle is, again, that majestic, that majesty. They fly so high that everyone aspires to be Eagle. Eagle is kind of like the standard. It's like, that's what I want to do. That's who I want to be. How do they do that? Because we see them, they're almost unreachable. And so by being themselves, they help to draw us upward. They lift our hearts. They inspire us to be like them. And so, what does that mean to be like eagle, right? It's, excuse me, eagle doesn't, like, when you think about it, eagle doesn't really fly that much, right? Never, he like, he'll, when he's by his nest or he's just taking off or something, he will flap his wings. But as soon as they find those thermals, it's just, and it's effortless. Eagle doesn't get that height by trying to get up there by flapping his wings even harder. He gets up there by just spreading his wings and allowing the thermals to lift him. I had a vision one time. Eagle came to me in a meditation, and he was like, "Let others be birds of the field. The sky is your home." It's like you, you surrender to the breath of Mother Earth, the winds to carry you, and you spread your wings, thus opening your heart. And it's that surrendering that lifts you. So it's not you, your spirit, your soul is like a hot air balloon. It naturally rises. Left unimpeded, it will rise. Just like eagle surrendering, spreading its wings, letting those thermals, the heat, carry him. Um, the thing is that we have our soul, and we tend to tether it to the ground. We tether it down to what we're supposed to be like everyone else, and to not to get above our raisin, right? Or we can put all this ballast. We're throwing all this stuff on top of us. Um, and finding our soul, finding our place, finding our true selves is about casting off that ballast. I just got 2222 on the counter. Um, and so it's about releasing all those things that hold you down, releasing all those things that make you small, that make you feel powerless, right? And allow yourself to spread your wings and let yourself rise. You're already perfect. You're already whole. You are already divine. You're already a high vibrational spirit. You're a spirit having a human experience, not a human having a spiritual experience. You are naturally up here, not down here. So when we let go of those things that hold us down, and so it's like it's not about hashing and rehashing every problem we have and trying to fix this and fix that so we can get there. It's more about surrendering, allowing yourself to become, to move beyond what, like, okay, how do I, so if we have an issue, right, you are naturally high vibration, and the challenges and issues we face are the things from the past that have held us down, right? And so if we come down to face these things and to fix these things, we're actually lowering our frequency to attack these things. If you see them as opposed to us, we're lowering our vibration. But if we can face that, one thing I learned through my years of anxiety and panic attacks is that the answer is always surrendering. Always. Um, right? It's when you're looking for the answer of something and you're trying, it's like you can't think of something. It's when you wake up at 3 in the morning, oh yeah, because you stopped thinking about it. You stopped badgering it. You stopped trying to figure it out. Your brain tries to focus. Your brain gets that tunnel vision, and it discounts everything outside of certain parameters. But if you're focused here and the answer is over here, you're never going to find it by trying to focus and focus and focus and focus, right? It's that Zen mind, beginner's mind thing. It's like we can over specialize ourselves into a place of not being able to do anything. Like the story of um, there's this town where a truck tried to go under a low bridge, right, and got stuck partway through. And so the city calls in all of the engineers and all of the experts, all the trucking people, all of the people who should know how to fix the problem. And they're all standing around arguing, well, we should do this, or we should do this, or do we need to deconstruct the bridge to get the truck out? Do we need to take the truck apart to get it out? Do we have to do this or do that? Do we need a crane? Do we need helicopters? Do we need this or that? Meanwhile, 5-year-old kid comes riding by on his bike, looks at it and says, well, why don't you just let the air out of the tires? All of that expertise and all of the money paid for all of the PhDs and all the stuff, and all the stuff did no good. It took a 5-year-old kid to look at the picture, like look at the what's going on in front of them, take in all of the variables, not just the engineering variables or the trucking variables. It's like to see the whole picture and say, well, why don't you just do this, right? Not to say that expertise is not important. Like if I have something wrong with me physically, medically, I would rather go to a specialist who knows what they're doing, right? I'm not saying not to specialize. I'm not saying to not pursue the expertise of whatever your passion is, okay? But at the same time, it's important to, especially when what you think you know isn't helping, isn't a solution, to I surrender and allow the winds to lift you to a higher perspective where you can see, like from that higher perspective, you have a lot more options, you have a lot more choice, you have a lot more possibilities that you can see, because you can see the entire panorama. You can see how nothing is linear, how everything is connected, everything is simultaneous. It's all there right now. And so you can see different possibilities. So it's about that open-mindedness. You might have an expertise, you might know exactly what needs to happen, but sometimes we need to open that up and trust, right? And don't be afraid to become who you are meant to be, right? The thing is, something that's been coming through a lot for me lately is that when challenges come up, or when I'm not feeling like I am who I'm supposed to be, when I feel like it's such a huge, insurmountable challenge, like I'm here and I'm supposed to be up here, right? The more I focus on how bad I am, or how depleted I am, or unfortunate I am, or whatever it is, the lower I go, right? And the bigger the gap comes from who I'm at the moment to who I'm supposed to be, who I truly am, right? But the thing is, even when you're feeling down here, this is still who you really are. This is just an illusion. This is just a perception. There is no separation. Like we pray to God, or our higher self, or our guides to help us become who we're, become our higher self, become our true self, become our authentic self. We pray, we talk to our higher self to help us through these things. But your higher self is who you already are. There is no separation. Even when you're down here and you're talking to this supposed other being up here, it's not a separate divinity, a separate being up here imposing rules and tests and lessons that you have to get through to earn rising to up here. The will of the divine is the same as your own will. And realizing that any challenge that comes your way, anything that you come face to face with, is the path. And by surrendering to who you are, you will find the way through it. And it will become not so much something to endure, something, that's not the right word. Just something to get through, like survival wise, but it becomes another jumping off point to self understanding and realization. Does that make sense? So, like, when we feel imposed upon, oh crap, I'm supposed to do this, and God wants me to be that, and I can't get there. It's like you're already there. Let go of the thoughts that say you're not, that say you're not worthy, right? And again, I emphasize the fact that it's easy to say these things, right? But the practical side of it is, if it was as easy to do as it is to say, we would all be there right now. And I realize that through what I just said, that we all are already there, right? And we just think we're down here. But when you surrender to the divinity that you already are, there is nothing that is beyond you. There is nothing more powerful than you. There is nothing that challenges you that you cannot overcome. If nothing else, by the mere fact that your soul is eternal. Your soul, who you truly are, your essence, cannot be threatened. You cannot be destroyed. You cannot be wiped out, rubbed out of existence. You have always existed. You always will. Whatever is happening in this world, like I've been saying a lot lately, I find myself talking about sandcastles. It's like this whole world is an illusion. This world is a dream. This world is about us as spirit building sandcastles. They're not real. They're not permanent. Everything of this world is of time. It's temporal. It's temporary. Anything we build in this world will crumble. Everything in this world has a beginning and an end, but you are not of this world. You are in the world, but not of it. You are beyond this world. And that's why they call it enlightenment. That's why they call it awakening. It's not that you're achieving something you didn't have before. It's that you're waking up to what has always been true. And it's like in the Hindu, what Brahma, I think Brahma is like the main original deity, God that went to sleep, and we are all part of Brahma's dream. And when Brahma wakes up, we all wake up as a part of Brahma, as different aspects of Brahma, as different characters in the mind of Brahma, to realize that was just a dream. Like when you wake up in the morning, no matter how bad the dream you might have just had, it's like, whew, it was just a dream. It wasn't physically real. It wasn't solid in the sense of our day-to-day life, right? So spread your wings, surrender to who you truly are, allow yourself to rise, right? Miracles are what happened when nature is unimpeded. Enlightenment is what happens when you take away everything that's holding you down and allow your soul to naturally rise to where it's supposed to be. All right? I don't know if that was clear. I don't know if that all made sense, but that was our 5th card. And as I said earlier, this is going to be a really long night because we're already beyond our time. But the next thing I'm going to do, that was our 5 individual cards. If you came in late, um, I actually started another video earlier, a live video, and something glitched, and the original video stopped, and I had to start a new one. And so I'm finishing up where I left off from there. So we just did the 5 individual cards. Now what I'm going to do, because if you were ever to come to me individually for a full reading, and if that is something that you want, you can visit my website at pertinentstudios.net, and you can read about what goes into a reading, into a healing. You can learn all more about me, and you can sign up for a reading or a healing or teaching a class right from my website. And what you will get is a 5-card reading like the one I'm about to do now, utilizing those 5 cards that we pulled for the individuals. So, Beaver. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. I'm just looking for those 5 cards now. Da, 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 ba, 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 ba. Give me beaver. Pow, 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 pow. All right. So, and I don't have my normal phone holder thing. Normally, at this point, I kind of bend the phone holder down so that you can see the card spread. But because I don't have that, I'm going to, whoops, let's see, okay. I am charged up enough I can do that. I'm going to switch. And here, oh, wait. There we go. Get my fingers out of figure out how to hold it. Okay. So these are the 5 cards that were pulled earlier for the individuals starting. And so this is called the medicine wheel spread, which basically is the 4 directions and center. Okay. I'm making this up as I go along as far as like holding the phone. This is a new thing. But, okay, I gotta figure out how to do that. Let's see if I hold it down here. Thank you for your patience as I figure these things out. This is me being dorky. And so we have east, which is air, which is the mental realm. We have south, which is fire. So that's about action and passion. We have west, which is water. So that is the place of emotion. We have north, which is the physical world, is earth. And then center, which is spirit, which is kind of the hub of the wheel, right? It's the one that holds all the others together. And yeah, so starting in the east where the sun rises, we have beaver, right? And beaver is about the visionary. Beaver is about seeing beyond appearances, to having, like, when we have that drive, when we have that calling to do something, that joy. It's like what Joseph Campbell talked about when he would say to follow your bliss, right? It's really, it's following, realizing that you, as an integral part of the community, and because your heart is what connects you to every living being on the planet, to every human being on the planet, that by following your heart already being connected to everyone else, also being what connects you to Creator, um, following your heart is following the voice of God, following the divinity. And because you're connected to all beings, what your heart tells you already takes into the calculations. It already makes the calculations and knows what is the best thing for everyone. Because we're talking the web of life, right? And when we all do better, we all do better. If something is for your well being, for your best and highest good, it's automatically for mine, right? So, this is about following those visions, following those desires, realizing that when you desire to do something, when you have a passion for something, that is your compass, your bliss. Following your bliss is following your purpose, what you came here to do, who you came here to be. That is a gift from the universe to tell you the direction you're meant to go in, right? And like Joseph Campbell says, when you follow your bliss, where there were only walls, doors will open. It's actually in following your bliss, that is the mechanism that opens all the doors before you to fulfill your purpose. Okay? Um, and interesting enough, if we jump across from the east to the west, right? This is the air, so this is the mental realm, your thoughts and your beliefs, your vision, like opening up that third eye and listening to your heart. Um, in the west, which is emotion, we have owl, which um, is about seeing from the heart. Um, Owl's vision is just as keen as eagle's, only owl sees at night in the dark. Um, and so there's the like owl is more, the dark, the moon, the nighttime is always seen as more mysterious, right? It's kind of like what the whole allure is about, like Samhain, about like Halloween and that darkness, that mystery, what's really behind the magic of life, etc., right? And so, well, this is the vision coming into your mind, Beaver, over here in the air, in the mental realm, in the emotional realm. This is the actual feelings that you are following, your intuition, that seeing with your heart, seeing what you're meant to go for, right? Owl sits there in the dark and sees the mouse and whoosh, flies in, grabs the mouse. And because they're totally silent in their flight, no one knows they're coming. She is in and out before anyone knows she was ever there. She's the only bird that is silent in her flight because her feathers don't have the hard edge that most bird feathers have. Her feathers are softer around the edges, and so they don't have that air resistance that you hear when when another bird flaps. So she's totally silent. She doesn't ask permission. She doesn't have to get the opinion of others. She doesn't have to justify. She doesn't have to explain herself. Apex predator. And because she flies from her heart, like seeing from her heart, um, and this is the reason that she is the totem of Athena, the goddess of wisdom, the goddess of justice, the one who is credited with teaching us democracy, right? Owl sees with her heart, so she knows what is just. She knows what's appropriate. She sees the whole picture. No matter what subterfuge, what walls or barriers or smoke and mirrors are thrown up in her way, she can see through all of that to what is right, what is just. And so when you follow your heart, like I said, your heart being connected to everybody has already done all the calculations, takes everybody's best and highest good into the equation, and then tells you where to go, what direction, right? So these are the two upright cards in the spread. So these are the two things. This is the strength. This is the things that we have going for us. These are the things we have to rely on. And interesting, there's three different animals here with wings, right? So we're talking about flying. It's about finding our wings. It's about that freedom of letting go of the earth and rising, right? And so, where was I going with that? Oh, so we've got these two. If you think about, so we've got three cards in reverse up the middle of the spread, and the wings are upright. It's like even though we have these challenges, these unknowns, these things that we're dealing with, we have wings that are still carrying us, still supporting us. And it's because of these wings, these things that we have going for us, it's these that give us the space to question, to grow. Does that make sense? So if we move down to the south, the place of fire, so action and passion, we have moose in reverse. And this is so we know who we are. We have this vision of what we can do. Not only do we have it in the mental realm, we think we know who we are. We have it as a feeling, as emotion, right? And so we have this impulse, this desire, this passion that is driving us, drawing us forward. So mentally and emotionally, we have direction. Down here in the fire with moose, this is about application. This is applying what we already know and action, bringing it into reality, moving forward, not just, oh, that's a cool idea and I really feel resonant with that, but I don't understand how it's how I'm supposed to get there. I'm not going to do anything about it. It's a really nice thing that brings me comfort when I'm feeling sad or whatever, but I'm not there. I don't need to apply it. It's there to comfort me when I'm down, but what does it have to do with reality? And like when we move to the fireplace with moose, it's about applying. It's the action to take. And with moose in reverse, it's about these are in reverse because these are the things that are in transition that we're dealing with right now. And moose, like I said, is about self-esteem. It's about that radical self-acceptance, about accepting everything about yourself, even and especially those things that make you that set you apart from the crowd, that set you apart from quote unquote normal, because we each have a different part of the puzzle for community, for family, for the tribe, for the globe, right? And what you have is unique and different from everyone else, right? You are unique and special, just like everyone else. And so you have the pieces of the puzzle that no one else has. You may have been teased about them. You might feel self conscious about them because they do make you different. And people who don't know better make fun of what is different because you don't fit in. But the fact that you don't fit in is actually your saving grace. I knew a guy who had a bumper sticker on his car and it said, "You laugh at me because I'm different. I laugh at you because you're not." Diversity is our strength. We can't, no single person can have all the answers, all the abilities, all the knowledge of what it takes to thrive in this world. We're all in this together. We all have a different part of the puzzle. And it's when we bring those pieces together that we become that unified field of wholeness. And so your job is to accept yourself as you are. Wear the crown. Be, like I always call moose medicine, majestic dorkiness. Moose is at the same time that probably one of the most powerful animals you will ever behold. If you've ever seen one in person, they're huge, they are powerful, they can bulldoze anything or anyone that gets in their way. At the same time, they are one of the dorkiest looking animals ever. But they couldn't be as regal and majestic as they are if they tried to hide those things that made them unique and different. And so this is about embracing your dorkiness, embracing your geekiness. Celebrate your differences, celebrate those things that set you apart. Celebrate your authenticity, because it's only by being authentic that you will find your tribe, you will find your community within the bigger community, right? So the action being asked for here is that self-acceptance, that majestic dorkiness. Open your crown, right? Like I said earlier, moose is the biggest of the deer family. And where other deer just have antlers that are basically like sticks kind of pointing toward the heavens, like an antenna pulling in the radio station, moose's antlers are basically a radar dish. Moose is pulling in HBO and all the channels. So it's like open up that crown and receive that divine, those divine blessings coming from spirit to become who you are, and and walk through this world with pride in who you are and who you're meant to be, and celebrate that uniqueness, celebrate that difference, and celebrate the difference in everyone else, right? Like I said earlier, like it doesn't matter what you're geeking out about. If you are passionate about something, if you are telling me something that you love, that you can go on talking about for hours, I can so sit here and listen to you for hours, even if it's something I don't really care about, even if it's something I know nothing about. If you're geeking out about it or passionate about it, I love to listen to it because it's that passion that is so contagious, that emanates out and awakens other people's passions, right? So if we move from there to the north is earth. So this is like the physical world, the manifestation of this, right? And so here we have bat, bat in reverse. And bat is about reverse, or about rebirth, not reverse, about rebirth. Um, In a way, bat is similar to like the tower card in the tarot. It's like the tower is crumbling. All the things we thought we knew are falling apart. But the thing is, um, if there weren't something bigger and better coming, it would be the status quo. But the status is not quo. It's the bigger, better reality coming, pushing its way into your life that is actually making the other stuff crumble. It's like I've had okay, how do I say it? Kali Ma is one of the deities that I work with, and the first time I journeyed to her and met her, I asked her for a message, what message she had for me, and she basically showed me this galaxy. It was like this galaxy just spinning in space, and it kept kind of moving back and forth so you could see both sides. And what she told me is that, humans always talk about how life and death are two sides of the same coin, but they still keep talking about the two sides. They never get to the one coin part. And she was like, death and birth are the same thing. It's the same moment. It's the same energy. And so death cannot happen unless birth is inevitable. If things are falling apart, it's because those things that are falling apart is all the components that it's going to take to rebuild and recalibrate a whole new reality. It's because when things are falling apart, it's a sign of your growth, that you have moved beyond what could support you before. And now in your, higher vibration, your higher existence that you've attained, those old things can no longer support you. Things are falling out from under your feet. The old ways aren't working anymore. And so the answer to this in reverse, that is kind of like resisting it all and being freaked out and like getting caught into the whirlwind, right? But this is the message here is be the eye of the storm. Be that peaceful center of the storm. Just like bat doesn't ground to the earth, doesn't ground downward. Bat stands on the ceiling of the cave with his feet in the ceiling going upward. It's like ground up, ground to spirit, ground to that stability and foundation that is your spirit, that part of you that is unchangeable, that cannot be threatened. The peace at the center of your soul. And allow the storm to wail around you. If we resist it, if we're trying to fix things, if we're just trying to duct tape things back together, all we're doing is rearranging boxes. We're postponing our own rebirth, our own realization of who we actually are. So when there's no clear path in front of you, when you find yourself in the dark of the cave, rest. When it's dark, you rest. The thing about that darkness is it's not evil. That darkness, even though we tend to be taught to expect the worst case scenario, right? In that darkness holds every possible future. Every possible potential exists in the darkness of that cave. That cave is the void. It holds all futures, all paths, all possibilities. That darkness is the womb of the cosmic mother. So when things are falling apart, is actually you are safe. The universe is holding space for you. The universe is taking apart. It's like so if you have, say you're working with a Lego set, right? And you build this castle out of Legos. Well, you decide that it's not good enough, that you want something different. So you don't go, well, I suppose you could go buy a whole new Lego set, but chances are you're going to use the same Legos. It's like you have this set of Legos that you use. So you're going to tear down that castle and you're going to put all those components back in a different, better way. That's what's happening. Your life is being deconstructed, dismembered, so that it can be remembered. It can be put together stronger and better than it ever was. We can rebuild it. We have the technology. Um, so surrender, rest. If there's no clear path ahead of you, it's time to rest. When it comes time to actually move forward, that path will be clear to you. Remember, you have this vision of the heart that can see in the dark. Meanwhile, when you're in the dark, part of the purpose of that darkness is to help you to navigate with your higher senses, your inner senses, right? Use the force. Reach out with your feelings, because bat in the dark, they don't have that good of eyesight because it's pointless in the dark. They have sonar. They literally navigate through vibrations, by frequencies, by waves, right? And so in that darkness, you're actually strengthening your inner senses. So trust your intuition. When this happens, it's like pay attention. This is where the synchronicities start. This is where your intuition kicks into high gear and you start to know things before they happen, or to see connections that you couldn't see before, for people to show up out of the woodwork with exactly what you needed to hear at the right time, with the right information, the right tools, or whatever it is. This is actually a place that is pregnant with possibility. It's not the end. This is the beginning. And where this is leading us is this place. Okay, I'm trying to hold my phone so that sorry it's shaky. I don't have my phone holder with me this week because I'm not at home. But this is all leading to Eagle. Eagle is basically Great Spirit. This is our inner divinity. And right now, it's sitting here in the center, flying over us, right? This is like Eagle is one of the highest flying birds. And we look up to Eagle as what we aspire to. Eagle inspires us. Eagle seems untouchable in the heights of the heavens. And so we look to him for inspiration. But what we have to realize, once we engage and apply and trust, we become Eagle. We are not birds of the field. We are, the sky is our home. And we realize that all of these mystical, magical impulses and feelings and lessons and people showing up and synchronicities is actually coming from us. You are your higher self. You are your true self. You are source energy. There is no separation. So even when we picture ourselves way down here low from this little perspective, we are actually way up here. And the getting from down here to up here isn't about attaining new things and climbing the mountain, making the effort. It's about letting go of the things that don't serve us, that don't support us. And like the hot air balloon that rises once you cut the tethers and once you drop all the sandbags and the ballast that are holding you down, your soul, your spirit naturally rises. And that is the process of awakening. That is enlightenment. That is the remembering. I mentioned dismemberment here with Bat, with everything being taken apart. And then we put everything together when we become eagle. And we let go, we surrender and soar effortlessly into the sky. We're not even flapping, it's effortless. We open our wings and allow the the air currents to carry us to the heights of who we are, right? Um, Shoot, what was I gonna say? And so we remember who we already are. We awaken to the fact that we were dreaming earlier. And all of a sudden, from this height up here, we can see clearly the entire picture of who we are, right? Like there's a meme going around that I saw that it's like, one day, everything that's happening right now will make sense. And you will see why it happened exactly the way it happened. Because everything happening right now, if I look back at some of the worst experience, what I judged at the time to be the worst experience of my life, I actually can look back now as a turning point and can be grateful because it's the place when everything fell apart that I was given space for the new things to grow. Everything that was standing in my way because of my old thoughts and beliefs of who I was or what was possible fell away. And that door, like I was talking about, when you follow your bliss, where there were only walls, doors open, this is the doors opening. The walls are falling down and the doors are opening so that we can find ourselves actually flying through the skies, through the heavens, king of the birds. So that is our community reading. Holy crap, we're almost an hour over our time. So if you are still with me, my little thing with the people on it up here says 0, so I'm not sure there's anyone else still watching. But thank you if you're watching this, on replay. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching, for spending this time with me, supporting me by watching the video, supporting me by sharing my video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my videos, share my videos. All of that helps me. It helps others find me. Um, I'm just going to do the plugs really quick. If you enjoyed this and you would like a personal reading with me, you can find me at perchingwolfstudios.net, and you can learn more about me there. You can read about the different shamanic services I offer, and you can sign up for a session with me right there. The community reading right here, the 5-card spread, is basically what you get when you come to me one-on-one, but I'm also, because it's just the two of us, and we can spend at least a half hour, if not an hour, depending on what you want. We can delve into more detail. This was the community reading, right? So it was a little more generalized. I didn't get into a lot of details, but when it's one-on-one, we can kind of explore how that what that means to you, how that affects you, what that represents. So I also offer healings and teachings, soul retrievals, all kinds of shamanic healings, Reiki, etc. So if you would like that, you can sign up for that. I have some classes coming up in March, the third Thursday, starting on the third Thursday of March. I am teaching my Deepening the Journey course, which is basically a year-long monthly class in shamanism, where every month we get together for a few hours and We explore different aspects of shamanism. And that is on my website too. If you look up the page, that's what is it? Event and class schedules. It's up there now, and I've got buttons there where you can sign up either for the full year or you can sign up for the 6 month option. I found in the past that sometimes a year is too much for people to commit to. So I broke it into 2 6 month sections, and you can take either of the 6 month ones independently, and that might be enough for you, or you can sign up for the entire year, whatever suits you. And it's I've been teaching it for, well, including I did take the last couple of years off to give it a break. Um, but I think this would be like the 10th year that I've taught this, and I've gotten such good feedback, and people seem to really learn a lot and get a lot from it. So if that appeals to you, check it out on my website. If you have questions, you can contact me through my website as well. You can ask questions about it, and there are payment plans, etc., etc. So I'm really excited about it. It's been a couple of years since I've taught it. I'm really excited. I'm going to have more teachings coming up, so stay tuned to that. And also, if you prefer a one-on-one learning thing rather than with a group, I also do one-on-one mentoring. If you're looking for a spiritual teacher, we can talk, we can get together, make sure that we resonate. And if it's a mutual agreement, I would love to be your teacher and help you through shamanism. Shamanism might not be your given path, but I find that no matter what someone's path is, shamanism is a great enhancement. It just enhances everything that it touches. So no matter what your path is, I think that shamanism is helpful. So, what else? If you enjoyed tonight and you wish to reciprocate in a different way than just um, sharing my videos, I also have my Venmo information, my Venmo link in the description under this video. And this is my day job. This is my living. So anything you give is received with such gratitude and appreciation. Um, I don't have words for all of you who watch and share and actually support me financially, keep a roof over my kitty's head and food in her tummy. So thank you for that. I hope you will join me next week. I've talked long enough. And until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. So have a wonderful week and go shining. All right.